Okay, let me start by saying it. A MISZOU and a MISTRIAL are two different grinds. Hola YouTube, my name is Ricardo Lino and I'm a wheel addict. So these are two grinds that I really like to do, but I've seen over and over some people having either difficulties to separate them, or people sometimes even call them the wrong name. I think these are somehow very different, and I'm going to try to explain why I think this and what you can do in order to get better at one of them or even both of them. So starting with the MISZOU. For me, a MISZOU is something that I do with my left foot in front, being a grind like this, and a MISTRIAL being a grind like this. They feel very different. Now, I'm going to start by speaking about the shoulders. When I do a MISZOU, I always tend to rotate the shoulder that is further away from the rail or from the ledge, a little bit to the back, in a way that my chest, instead of facing forward, it faces 45 degrees away from the rail. So instead of being like this, I go a little bit like that. And by doing this, I feel like I have more control, and I can also have better balance because I can use my back arm and my front arm in order to keep my balance, so I can do them longer. Something that is also very important for me is my back foot. I've seen people putting the feet together. I've seen people just doing the feet straight like this. I think it's very important to understand that the back foot should be on this inside part. So you somehow want the boot to even touch on the rail, so the frame and the boot. And the way for you to do this is to separate your feet a little bit. So you need to create some space, and you can point your back knee in the direction of the front foot. By doing this, you are opening the base, and if you have a triangle with a bigger base, you usually have better balance. So this is one of the things too that it's extremely important for me when I do a MISZOU. Other than these, the place where I put most my weight, I think it's also very important. I've seen people doing somehow what I said up until now okay. So they rotate a little bit their chest, they put their feet apart, but then they are like this. And when they are like this, it's somehow hard to slide and to control the speed. Like imagine if you're going to go into something that it's sticky, and if you jump with all the weight on the front foot, dude, you can really get hurt. So for me, the safe way to do it, and one of the reasons why I somehow always felt comfortable with this trick even on steep spots, steep rails, steep ledges and all that, it's because I tend to leave my body from the middle to the back. So when I do a MISZOU or a sweat stance, I try to stay more like here. So I rotate my shoulder, I stay on the inside part of my foot, my knee goes against the front one, and then here. And then I try to stay more in the back, and this allows me to be more in control. Other than this, by keeping this posture, I can somehow even go lower on my MISZOU. So instead of being here, I can even go here on my MISZOU. And this is actually my favorite stance on a MISZOU, when you go really low, leaning back, somehow trying to mimic what Yuto Goto does, the best MISZOU out there. Now, a MISTRIAL, it's somehow very different. So yes, still the same foot in front for me, still the same foot in the back, but I don't want to see any space between my feet. Now, this doesn't mean that this is a MISTRIAL. In order to be a MISTRIAL, the back foot needs to have the backslide plate touching. So I want this happening. But if I do with my feet apart, I can also touch with the backslide plate. And it doesn't mean that it's not a MISTRIAL. It's just not made in the proper pose, in my opinion. Like, I don't like to see them as much when people do them like with the feet apart, and sometimes I do them. Like if I'm gonna go through a kink, or if it's a very steep spot or something, sometimes I do those, and it's not something that I can always control. But my favorite stance on a mistrial is when the feet are together with the backside plate touching in order to be a mistrial, and I want my knees to be as far apart as possible. I want these. Very important. Now, if you remember, when I started speaking about the mizu, I first started by speaking about the shoulders, and the shoulders is, in my opinion, one of the most important things when I do a mistrial. So if when I do a mizu, I tend to rotate my back shoulder in order to have my chest facing 45 degrees, when I do a mistrial, the best ones that I've done so far, and especially on steeper spots, I tend to rotate both my shoulders forward, and I'm going to be doing it like this. So almost like if my chest goes completely straight or a tiny bit rotated to the side. So very little, very little rotation. And also my weight now doesn't go from the middle to the back, but from the middle to the front. A lot of times I even put a lot more weight on my front foot. So on a mizu, I go here. On a mistrial, I go here. And for me, these are the main differences between these two grinds, and these are two grinds that I feel very comfortable. Now, if you're going to be doing them on a rail, on a ledge, on a coping like quarter pipe, there's slight changes, slight adjustments that you need to do. Usually if it's on a quarter pipe, you can't stay so much on top because the back wheels can touch on the tabletop and you can get stuck. Or if you're going to be doing it on a ledge, and if you stay so much on top, the sole foot might slide out. But in general, all you need to do is to do those small adjustments that you already need to do on other grinds. If it's a sole trick on a ledge or on a coping, you want to lean to the transition or to the outside of the ledge, or yeah, you can stay on top, just not too much on top. While if it's on a rail, well, you can just stay completely on top, and you can even use your arms to balance. But yeah, that is about it. There's a lot to be done with this. Maybe there's even a switch up. Is it mizu to mistrial? Is that it? I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, it's all good. You can leave me a thumbs down. But let me know in the comments why you like it or why you didn't like it. It's important for me to keep on doing this, to know your feedback. And other than that, just like I always say, just don't forget why we all started skating. And with the mizu, with the mistrial, with the feet apart, with the shoulders rotated or not, we all started because it's fun. Now, cheers and see you soon.